All right, in this lesson, we are going to talk about estimating sums and differences. So this is giving ourselves a ballpark of what, when we're adding and subtracting really big numbers, approximately where our solution should fall, where our sums or differences should be around. So we can use our rounding skills to help us estimate sums and differences. We've been working on rounding the past couple of days. We're going to apply this skill that we've already mastered to a new situation. So we're going to find sums and differences. Well, what are sums and differences? A sum is the answer to an addition problem. A difference is the answer to a subtraction problem. These are very, very, very important vocabulary terms that you need to know, because a lot of problems will ask you to find the sum, and that will prompt you to add. Others will tell you to find the difference, which will prompt you to subtract. Now, how do we know when it's okay to estimate? Well, some of our key words that we look for are going to be about. So if they say about, how much will this be? Of course, if they say estimate. Approximately is a great estimation word. Roughly. Roughly, how much money will we make? Roughly, how much is that profit? Let's see, what else? Close to or near to. Those are some estimation phrases as well. And what is our estimation symbol? Our estimation symbol is almost like an equal sign, but it's going to be squiggly. It's about. It's loosey-goosey. It's about. So let's look at two forms of estimating. One of them ends up being a little bit more accurate than the other, but both are perfectly valid forms of estimating or rounding. We have front-end estimation, where we add and subtract the numbers in the front part of the number, the front-end digits first. The next step, because this is a three-part process, as you can see, the next step is to round the back-end numbers. So you're going to round those numbers that are in the back part of the number. So essentially what we're doing is we're going to round to the second largest place value. Then we take the front-end digits estimation and the back-end digit estimations. We're going to take those two sums and add them together. And I know that sounds confusing, so let's jump into an example to make some more sense out of it. So our first problem, let's go ahead and stack them up vertically or up and down. We've got 148 plus 392 plus 729. We're going to use front-end estimation, which is just one way that we can estimate this. So our first step is that we're going to look at those front numbers. Now, be careful. We're not just adding 1 plus 3 plus 7. We are adding 100 plus 300 plus 700, because those are sitting in our hundreds place values. So we've got 100 plus 300 plus 700. Well, I know 3 plus 7, or 300 plus 700 is 1,000, plus one more set of 100 is 1,100. So that is 1,100. Now we're not finished quite yet. We need to take a look at the back end of our numbers. So we're going to take a look. We're going to highlight these back numbers. And what we're going to do next is we're going to round to the second largest place value. So we've got 1s and 10s. Our 10s are certainly bigger than our 1s. That is our next biggest place value. So what we're going to do is we're going to estimate the back end numbers. 48 is super duper close to 50. 92 is approximately 90. And 29 is approximately 30. Let's go ahead and add those up. 5 plus 9 is 14, plus 3 more is 17. So that's 170. And now our last step, here's our final step, step 3, is to add these two together. You can stack them up vertically if that helps you. I'm going to go ahead and do this mentally. And I'm just going to work off to the side. So we know that these two numbers will add up to 1,200. 270. And notice how I use my approximation symbol, because that is not the exact sum, it is simply an approximation. Let's do another example together. 4,876, let's go ahead and write that out, 4,876 plus 832 plus 2,081. It's very important that you keep your thousands lined up, your hundreds, tens, and ones. So the first step is we're going to go ahead and look at our front end digits. We've got 4,000 plus, well, essentially 0 thousands. You can put in a 0 there if you need to, just to help make sense out of that, plus 2 more thousands. Well, 4,000 plus 2,000. Why am I saying thousands? Well, because it's sitting in the thousands place value. That will give you 6,000. It's very important that we are keeping track of what place value we're in. Our next step is to look at the back end numbers and estimate those guys. So we're going to round to the second largest place value. So we're going to go ahead and round to our hundreds. So 876 is approximately 900. 832 is approximately 800. 81 is approximately 100. Go ahead and add those up. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 8 is 18. So that the back end approximately adds up to 1,800. Our last step here is to add these two sums together. So we're going to add those two together, and that will be approximately 7,800. Again, if you need to stack those above one another to help you out with that addition, you are more than welcome to. I was able to do that mentally, but if you need to stack it up, please do. There's nothing wrong with that. Okay, and our next form of estimating is rounding. Using that skill we already have, we'll go ahead and round to the largest place value within each number. So for this example, I've got 174 plus 483 plus 628. So what we're going to do is we're going to round to the largest place value, and each one of these numbers, our hundreds, are our largest place value. So let's go ahead and estimate those. So this is approximately 200, approximately 500, approximately 600. Add those up. 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 6 is 13. So we know that is going to approximately be 1,300. And let's look at this last example together. 54 plus 28 plus 134. I'm actually going to shift that plus sign over so I can keep everything lined up. My hundreds with my hundreds, ones with ones, tens with tens. So for each number, you're going to round to the largest place value. So in this case, we will be rounding to different place values. 54 is approximately 50. 28 is approximately 30. And 134 is approximately 100. We'll go ahead and add those up. So we know our answer will be approximately 180.